Welcome back to another episode of Filmmaker React. I'm Josiah. I'm about to watch a really exciting trailer. It's another League of Legends trailer. It's called The Dark Gambit. It's a follow-up to a Noxus trailer. A few of you have commented saying that I need to check this out. It looks short. I think it's only like 2 minutes long. So let's dive in, see what it's all about, see what the hype is about. I'm excited. These trailers are always really inspiring. So let's see what this one is, and we'll talk about it, see what kind of filmmaking techniques they used, and see if we're inspired. But I'm excited. Let's dive in. Oh, it hit you with the visuals right away. That voice. Oh, that voice. What am I looking at?
The first lands.
Ionia is but a doorway.
Yes, come claim your prize.
Oh, this is sick.
Listen to your puppet, LeBlanc. Besides, you have no host. And
These go
even
so
if you
hard.
did, the new Grand General would never approve another campaign in Ionia.
That focus? What's behind her? Oh, I love this. These low camera shots. They look more evil that way. Oh my. This is so sick.
Losing our host was an unfortunate turn.
What is that?
As for the might of Noxus, it won't be necessary. A single whisper can cut deeper.
Oh, I
than
love the voice
1,000
acting.
blades.
Look at this shot.
To Ionia, then.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm sorry. What the heck? This really is short, but oh my gosh. This might actually be one of the hardest things that I've watched from them yet. All right, we're literally just going to take this frame by frame because I'm that excited about this. Wow. So of course, it's always like what grabs your attention first, right? Bam, they hit you right away. You have this really nice composition, which gives you a ton to look at. I always love that too when there's layers and depth to what it is that you are looking at. Here we have two main characters in the shot, even though they're out of focus. But then, of course, we have this iconic like helmet with this symbiote kind of goo in here, like venom goo or whatever. Incredible. The camera's doing a like ever so slow. I don't know if you noticed it, but the camera's doing a very, very slow pull out. Super subtle. It only goes a few pixels, but it's slowly pulling back, which I think is awesome. Adds a little bit of life to this frame. It's also cool that this, the actual goo itself, if I were guessing, I would say is actually hand animated, like a 2-dimensional animation. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It looked a little bit like in that first frame that that's what it was doing. Yeah, and here we can see it oozing onto the floor, which is really cool. You have something in the background moving. So once again, like your eye is being drawn to really this whole scene, but mostly focused here on the upper right-hand side. This shot is nuts. We have like what looks like hand, right? Like kind of crawling up against like a wall. And then there's just like undulating mass behind. The colors are so beautiful to look at here. Like they're really soft. Like nothing is like pure black, right? This is all like a very soft look. For things that are scary and evil, usually you like to do dark lit, backlit, doing like really dark shadows, and they're leaning into like this really beautiful pastel color. Like the symbolism is so cool. A lot of the League of Legends stuff just feels like music video work, which I think is amazing. Obviously they pair most of theirs with like a song, but it just always has like that really striking visuals like a music video does.
Ionia is but a doorway.
I love the lighting on these scenes are so great. It's very directional lighting. It's from the right-hand side, and so you can really see the very bright white on their faces. But like clearly you know, if you were to film this practically, you would have like a giant soft box, most likely overhead. So you have really nice soft lighting over your entire scene, and then like a nice strong direct right into them. They're not backlit by anything. This is just nice soft shadows, and then like a nice key light. The voice work is so cool. I love this. Getting the shot, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And in this case, I would say this actually works really well, where you have the POV of a creature or POV of a monster. Sometimes I think it kind of sucks, but I think in this particular instance, they have found a really tasteful way of doing this. Like the voice almost gets a little bit more inside your head, and it's like very blurred out. I love how they've blurred the images and added almost like a little smoky effect to the dark portions. So you can see around her hair. There's like this like smoky effect kind of coming off. You're seeing this through the eyes of this creature. All that power. This is so cool. One thing that I love about the League of Legends cinematics in particular is that they don't overpack the scene. They like here, it's very simple. You have your main character and you have out of focus, just almost like a two-tone on the left and just like this two-tone on the right. It's a very simple image. There's not like, they're not trying to scale back and have like tons of detail in the building behind her. They really put the focus on the characters, which I think is amazing because it's a character-based series. From the show to the games, like it's all about the heroes and about the characters, and I think their visuals do a really good job of accentuating that.
And even if you did, the new
I love his eyes. Are very expressive, even though they're mostly red and black, but you're getting a lot through his whole face. You even get that like slight look down before snapping up. Like there's so much attention to detail.
And even if you did, the new Grand General.
Absolutely love this. This shot actually would be, I don't want to say impossible, but would be brutally hard to get in real life because they are pretty far back as far as how they are showing her. Like there's not a close-up shot, right? It's like her knees to her whole body. So it's almost a full body shot, but you have the background blown out of focus to oblivion. Like usually you only get this depth of field blown out background if you're really close to your subject and you're shooting on like a 1.4 or something like that, f-stop. And then you could have a really blown out back focus. The only way you could achieve this practically is if you used a very long telephoto lens, and I'm talking like a 600 millimeter or something, where you're zooming in super, super, super far, the camera's back set really far away, and you're trying to blow out that background. I'm not saying you can't achieve this shot practically, but this definitely kind of shows its hand as being like a comp shot, a visual effects shot. This is created virtually.
Would never approve enough.
Like it'd be hard to replicate this in real life. But I love the idea of this. I love the idea that you are seeing the mass and the scale of this creature forming behind her. This shot in particular is so sick. Once again, look at the background. Just very soft gray, super out of focus. Like there's nothing really to look at, and all your focus is just on your main character here. This is gorgeous. And that upturn angle, usually this kind of angle is used for a bad person or an evil person, like using that low, because it's giving them power over you as the viewer, like they have power over you as though they are standing above you. I love her gold lipstick. Looks really cool. Oh, I love this shot. You're realizing that this creature is in the room with them. And you're getting a sense of where it's at. Yeah, look at this. Like, what are we looking at here? What is this? It's moving so fast. I love the blurred effect where they kind of have, it's almost like hyper blurred. So it's like blurring because it's moving fast, like motion blur, but it almost feels like they have duplicated the image and offset it by like a frame or two as well. So you almost have like a dream sort of effect. Ooh, I'm doing that with my hands there. It's very special, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. I love all the wispiness that it's leaving behind it as it moves. Like this is so cool. It moves so fast. I like that it doesn't have a mouth of any kind that I'm seeing. So a lot happens. This is like a 1 second shot and a ton happens, but you follow it perfectly. And here's something I've talked about in the past that is really effective. If you're moving the camera if you're moving shots really fast, you need to pick a spot that is the focal point that never really changes for your attention. So in this case, they're doing it completely centered. So as the creature, I'm going to go kind of frame by frame. The creature obviously starts right, but the framing is all centered and it makes its way center. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Even though we have only a few frames, we have our main character in the center. He's obviously stepping out of the way saying, nope, but camera's still completely centered. I love this hyper blur on the edges. And then when we get to the reverse shot of her, she's completely unfazed. She knows he's coming, but she knows she's safe. But I love how then she's centered as well. So you have those shots back to back to back. So even though it all happens really fast, here it goes again. Boom, boom, boom. You track it all. You track the whole thing, which is great. I love these like red chains infused with magic of some sort. That is such a powerful shot. She wasn't worried at all that she was going to get hit. The force and the power that this thing is coming in is really cool. I love how they have the whole camera shake. And once again, like, this is just beautiful. Like, this is like like if you were to take this image and blur it all out, the color palette is really beautiful. It's this creamy white. You have some dark grays. You have this nice crimson look. Like, these are all really beautiful color palettes to look at. That's not your typical horror kind of look. For a creature this horrific, usually my approach would be put it in a dark room, have strobe lights, like all this kind of stuff. But they're doing a very soft approach, which is really inspiring. You can see the tension pulling on these chains, which is really cool. I love the small details. So you have like, he's like trying to anchor his feet here on the left and the right, but you can see it's slipping out on this on the flooring. He can't get a good grip. Yeah, and I love this. Same thing with this. Like, this is quite out of focus for what this shot could handle with a lens. Like, if you were to film this, you could not get this shot on like a 50mm lens or a 35mm lens. Like, this would be way more in focus. So the way you'd achieve this is a lens set way far back. I'm curious from a production standpoint of how they created this. You know, you could have a virtual camera that was still a 50mm for her, and you can cheat it by you can just make it as out of focus as you want, because it's not a real lens that you're filming with, obviously. But typically with these things, you're mimicking using real gear because it tricks your eye the most. So I find this a really fascinating and interesting choice to do something that you normally couldn't do realistically. But I think it looks amazing. You see just how big and powerful this thing is. And once again, like, you can see it's like a smearing. Like, I think they have actually taken the animation from this creature and they have actually duplicated it in their compositing, because you can see one eye leads the other eye. And I do think they have taken the image, which was just this creature moving, and they just duplicated it and offset it by like a frame. So as one moves, the other frame kind of catches up with it, and it creates this really cool parallaxing with everything, where it's just, instead of one image, it's the two images.
Fortunate turn. As for the might of Noxus, it won't be necessary. A single whisper can cut deeper than 1,000 blades.
Look at this final shot. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. Now, this is more typically what I would expect a real lens to be able to capture. It's like slightly out of focus. The focus is certainly on her, but for the most part, you're still seeing the whole scene. This giant, like, are those eyes on the chest as well? I don't really know. This is a very, very cool creature. This is amazing. I guess not technically the final shot, but that's the final shot I remembered. Yeah. That's really cool. Same thing. This is just gorgeous. They're not overdoing the details. You're really focused on the character. But this is it. This is the money shot. This is screenshot this, put this as your wallpaper. You are good to go. That is one thing that cannot say highly enough about League of Legends. Like, their cinematics in general, they are just screenshot worthy. Like, they are like almost everything you just feel like is wallpaper. I love, the standout for this one is their lighting choices. Their coloring choices are all very, very smooth and soft and very beautiful. I don't think there's really any portion of this that hits completely black, completely zero. It's all like a softer look, which I think is really cool. Good use of close-ups and good use of motion for this creature to run in. I love this. Yeah, that push is so good. And then really this is the shot right here. So yeah, and honestly, like another really, really sick cinematic. I think this is really cool. For me, it's inspiring to see an approach that I normally wouldn't take. And like I was saying before, like if I was given a script or if somebody was talking about the scene, like, oh, there's two evil people talking and there's an evil creature that's busting out and gets caught by these magic chains, my brain would go dark. Like I would go dark room, maybe some sort of flickering flame or magic, something to pulse to give like that back flicker. And I wouldn't do this. This would not be my initial knee-jerk reaction. So this is very inspiring. I love seeing an approach like this. It stands out to me. I'm curious if it stands out to you. What else should I check out? Are there other trailers that I should see that also kind of hit this, where maybe it circumvented your expectations a little bit? But anyways, drop a comment below, hit like, hit subscribe. I'd love to keep doing these and love to hear more. I only watched this because somebody left a comment and told me to. So I love hearing what I should check out. This was amazing. And until then, I will see you guys around.